What's up, YouTube? This is Bison X79 representing Team FTK, and guys, today I'm coming to you with my latest deck profile video for February 2020. Alright, as you can see, we're going to be doing Blue Eyes White Dragon, and I can tell you this right now, Blue Eyes White Dragon has always been my favorite monster in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I've always had a deck built around Blue Eyes, whether it be for casual play, traditional format, even advanced format. I just love this deck so much. I keep coming back to it to update it constantly, see if I can get some new things or even some more classical things into the deck to really shake things up and take people by surprise. Alright, but before we get into the deck profile, just remember Team FTK does have the partnership with In-Gaming. We have the link code down in the description box below. That's Team FTK10. Use that when you're checking out. When you want to turn around and buy awesome gaming supplies like the beautiful game mats. I actually bought this off of In-Gaming with the Team FTK code. Alright, we're also PayPal powered as well. So guys, want to make any donations to help the channel grow so we can get better cards and better equipment to bring you better content, please feel free to make a donation. Alright, so with that out of the way, we're going to get right into this deck. Alright. And we gotta start off with talking about the 3 copies of the Blue Eyes White Dragon. This is an unwritten rule in the game. If you're running a Blue Eyes deck, you gotta run 3 copies of Blue Eyes in your deck. Alright? There's no way around it. It's a level 8 light attribute Dragon type monster, 3000 attack, 2500 defense, if you already haven't noticed that. It can basically be a beat stick on the field, allow you to go into your level 9 Synchro plays, go into rank 8 Xyz plays, you can link it off, and if you wanted to play around with the extra deck, you could potentially fusion with it as well. I can tell you this right now, the deck is this card is very versatile in the deck, and you need to have this card at 3. Alright? I'm running 2 copies of Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon. Alright, Alternative White Dragon must be first special summoned to the field by revealing the OG Blue Eyes from your hand. Then you special summon it, so it's a free summon on your field. Awesome. It has the effect where you can actually target one of your opponent's monsters and pop it. So that's awesome. So it's a free removal, spot removal as well. Alright. Same levels, stat lines, and attributes, so you can do the same things you do with the OG Blue Eyes with Alternative. So having 5 monsters like that is just so cool. Alright, moving on, we are running only 1 copy of Dragon Spirit of the White. To be very honest, I'm not seeing as many back row dependent decks out there as possible now, which is why I cut this card back down to 1. Really sad, but I am keeping an extra copy in the side deck, and if I do run it into more back row heavy decks, I'm definitely going to be playing around with the ratios of Alternative to this card. Alright? Whenever Dragon Spirit of the White is summoned to the field, you target one of your opponent's spells and traps and you banish it. Not destroy it, you banish it. You just get it off the field and it's gone. Alright? Spirit of the White also has an effect. As long as your opponent has a monster on the field, you contribute this card, special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand to the field in its place, so you can potentially get an additional attack during a battle phase if you haven't cleared out all your opponent's monsters. Alright, I am running the Brave Goliath package in this. The one thing that I noticed is that this deck does need this in the deck for the current meta. Whole lot of special summoning going on, and you need to be able to shut that down as soon as possible. Okay? So, as soon as Goliath hits the field, neither player is special summoning unless they're summoning Morphage monsters. Alright? So it basically locks down that aspect, and a lot of times that can actually, when you do, especially if you have several other high-level, high-attack monsters on the field already. Alright? Art Brave is what gets Goliath on the field. What you're going to do is you can get them both in the graveyard through various effects that I have in this deck. We'll talk about that later. And then during this opponent standby phase, you special summon Goliath via Art Brave Dragon's effect, and that'll lock out the special summons. Do not count out Art Brave Dragon by bringing it back out of the graveyard, especially against back row heavy decks, like things like your Altergeists or your Guru Control. When you special summon this guy from the graveyard, you can actually then basically banish the face-up spells and traps, and this card gains 200 attack for each card banished. And that's actually an amazing boost, because you can get this guy over 3,000 attack, and just having that extra 3,000 plus body on the board does make a world of difference. Alright. Red Eyes, Darkness Metal Dragon. This is a card that needs to be in all Dragon decks now. Banish a Dragon type monster off the field, special summon this guy out, and then you can special summon another Dragon type monster from your graveyard or from your hand to the field. Typically, you're going to want to be bringing out your level 8 monsters, just to turn around and be able to do build your boards and push for game. Alright, I've been able to build boards with this card and rebuild boards with this card, so it's definitely something that you need to have going forward. Alright. My Dragon Brotor is another key card that all Dragon decks have to be running. Whenever this guy is in the graveyard, if one of your Dragon type monsters happens to be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon this guy from the field. And whenever this guy is special summoned, he can target another Dragon type monster that's on the field, and you can search your deck for a monster that matches its attribute. So if you could target himself, you could search out your Red Eyes, Darkness Metal Dragon. You target any of the light attribute monsters, you can search out any of the other light attribute dragons that you have in your deck. So awesome. Okay. 3 copies of Sage with Eyes of Blue. Alright, Sage with Eyes of Blue is pretty much mandatory in all Blue Eyes decks. Ever since it's released. Whenever it's normal summon, you're searching your deck for another level 1 light attribute tuner monster to add to your hand, which is just awesome. Okay. Sage also has another effect. Basically, you can, while this card's in your hand, you can discard this card, target an effect monster you control, send that effect monster to the graveyard, and then special summon a Blue Eyes monster from your graveyard back to the field. Alright, which is just huge. Allows you to swap around monsters, allows you to be able to do a lot of different things, and it just works so well with the deck. A lot of people forget about that secondary effect, but it does come up, and it is very useful. Alright. For the level 1 light tuners, we have the Stone Package, which is 3 copies of White Stone of Ancient, 1 copy of Stone of Legend. Stone of Legend, wherever it's sent to the graveyard, you're searching your deck for the OG Blue Eyes to add to your hand. White Stone of Ancient, very awesome card. The end phase of the turn is sent to the graveyard. You're special summoning a Blue Eyes monster from your deck to the field, which is just awesome. Alright, and then while this card's in the graveyard, you can banish it, and then send a Blue Eyes monster from your graveyard back to your hand. So I've been using this card to actually bring back either the OG Blue Eyes or the Blue Eyes alternatives in my graveyard, send them back to the hand so I can get the alternative onto the field for an extra body. Alright. And last but not least, the last light tuner that we run in this deck is going to be Effect Valor. Effect Valor just allows you to target a monster and negate its effects for the turn. It's not a hard one per turn, so if you have both copies in your hand, you can negate 2 cards on your opponent's side of the field. Alright, that's it for the monster lineup. For the spells, I am running 3 copies of Dragon Ravine, 1 copy of Terraforming. Effectively, it's 4 copies of Dragon Ravine. Dragon Ravine is awesome. You can pitch any card from your hand to send a Dragon-type monster from your deck to your graveyard. A lot of times I'm sending an unneeded Dragon-type monster from my hand to the graveyard to send yet another Dragon to the graveyard. So it works out very well to help thin out the deck and unclog your hands in case of bricks. So amazing. You want to be seeing this card in your opening hand. It is a great starter card, and it just helps the deck combo off. Alright, the other starter card you want to be seeing is going to be one of the 3 copies of Dragon Shrine. Dragon Shrine is effectively the Foolish Burial for Dragon decks. Alright, activate this card, you send a Dragon-type monster, and if that Dragon-type monster happens to be a normal monster, whether it be one of the 3 OG Blue Eyes or the Dragon Spirit of White, since it does count as a normal monster in the graveyard, you can send another Dragon-type monster on top of it, so it just helps set up your graveyard to do the Arc Brave Goliath combo. Alright, moving forward, Monster Reborn, pretty self-explanatory, bring back any monster from either player's grave. 1 for 1, pitch a card, specifically a monster card, to bring out a level 1 monster onto the field. Typically you want to be bringing out one of the stones or Brotor onto the field to be able to facilitate other plays. Moving forward, I like doing Brotor, special summon Brotor to the field, target Brotor with its own effect, search out Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, banish the Brotor for Red Eyes Darkness Metal, special summon another monster from the hand of the graveyard, and all of a sudden now I got 2 big body monsters on the field. Alright. Return of the Dragon Lords, so necessary in high-level Dragon decks like Blue Eyes. Allows you to special summon a level 7 or level 8 Dragon-type monster from your graveyard back to the field. Alright, which is huge. And while this card is in the graveyard, if your Dragon-type monsters will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can just banish this card instead and protect all of your Dragon-type monsters. Such an amazing effect, and it's definitely worth having in your decks. Alright. Of course, I am also running 2 copies of Silver's Cry. Silver's Cry allows you to special summon a normal-type Dragon-type monster from your graveyard back to the field. And since it's a quick play, you can do this during your opponent's turn. So if they have a particular spell or trap card that they're really depending on, bring back Dragon Spirit of the White, and you just banish that card and break their boards. Alright. A lot of level 8s in this deck, so you've got to be running 3 copies of Trade-In. Pitch to level 8, draw 2 cards. Alright, I'm also running a couple extra consistency cards. Karna Mines is actually very good in this deck. I find myself low on cards in hand a lot of times. This card actually allows me to fill in my hand, allow me to dig deeper into my deck to actually find other things and other plays that I can do during my turn. Yeah, it sucks you can't special summon the turn you use it. Or after you use it, excuse me. But still, it's worth it. Even the fact that you have to send the remaining cards to your graveyard, it doesn't hurt this deck that much. So definitely a great one-of. I'm also running 1 copy of Upstart Garland. This deck doesn't care if your opponent gets an extra 1,000 life points for drawing a card. The way this deck can put attack power on the board, you're not going to have to worry about that. So definitely something you want to have. And last but not least, I am running 2 copies of the Ultimate Creature of Destruction. Such an amazing card to have. It protects any of your face-up Blue Eyes monsters from being destroyed by battle or card effect. Alright, which is just huge. And if this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon a Blue Eyes or a Blue Eyes monster, or a Blue Eyes White Dragon, excuse me, to the field. You can actually reset this card to your field, so you can protect those monsters further. Really amazing card. Definitely something that you need to protect your monsters on the field. Alright, so that's it for the main deck, 40 cards. For the extra deck, we'll start with the Synchros. We got Blue Eyes, Spirit Dragon. Alright, Spirit Dragon is just such an amazing card. Has a couple of cool effects with it. The first effect prevents your opponent from special summoning a ton of monsters, or more than one monster at once. So it really shuts down pendulum summons. So if you are going up against the pendulum deck, yeah, this is definitely a card you want to have sitting on your field. The other effect is that it basically shuts down and negates monster effects that will activate in the graveyard. Think about this card sitting on the field against things like Orchest or even Salamangreats. You get the picture. Alright? And last but not least, it can attribute itself to actually bring out another light attribute Dragon-type monster onto the field. That monster is destroyed during the end phase. There are ways around it. Alright? So, we're going to go into the next one. It's going to be Azure Eyes, Silver Dragon, alright? Such an awesome card. With 3,000 attack, with 3,000 defense points, it's a very good defensive card to actually have on the field. While this card sits in the field, you could actually special summon normal Dragon-type normal monsters from your graveyard during your standby phase, allowing you to be able to build or rebuild your board. Alright? The turn this card is summoned, your opponent's not destroying any of your Dragon-type monsters with card effects. And that includes via your own effects like Spirit Dragon. So if you bring him out with Spirit Dragon's effect, it's not going to destroy itself. Alright. Black Rose, Moonlight Dragon, another great light attribute. Synchro monster, whenever this card is summoned, you can target a level 5 or higher monster and just bounces off the field. So you get the compulsory evacuation device effect. Typically what you want to do is you want to make sure you have the normal summon ready so you can bring out a light tuner, so you can actually go into level 8, other level 8 synchros like Crystal Wing, Synchro Dragon. Alright, this is a big bad negate for the deck, and I can tell you right now, by shutting down monster effects, you're pretty much going to be winning the duel. Especially if you can lock out special summons as well. So, yeah. Such an amazing card. If your opponent has a bigger monster on the field, this card gains the attack of that monster when you attack into it. So, as long as it has a level. Alright, just remember that. Any monster effect that activates, it can negate and just destroy, so awesome. Alright, and yet another card to target with Spirit Dragon's effect is Stardust Spark Dragon. Stardust Spark Dragon has a quick effect where it basically can protect one card on the field from being destroyed by card effect, or even battle, so it can protect itself from Blue-Eyed Spirit Dragon's effect, making it a very awesome card to have and an extra. The last synchro I have is Cloud Castle. Cloud Castle is another level 9 monster, but when you synchro summon it out, you can actually target another level 9 monster like your Blue-Eyed Spirit Dragon, bring it back onto the field, and from there you're in position to build into the first disease monster I'm going to show, and that's True King of all Calamities. Oh man, this card is just such an amazing card. You can attach a material, declare an attribute, all monsters in the field become that attribute, and because of Calamities' effect, your opponent's not going to be able to activate effects with cards of that attribute. Just as an awesome card. It just helps win games and break boards. Alright. I'm also running this Galaxy Eyes package in this extra deck. Cypher can actually turn around and steal your opponent's monsters, so you can link off with them. Photon is basically a free pop of a face-up card, and then Cypher Blade is basically a pop of any card on your opponent's field. So spot removal is definitely something awesome in this deck. Alright. Number 38. Hope Harbinger, Dragon Titan Galaxy. Just an amazing card. Negates any spell cards when they're activated, and then those spell cards become overlay units for this card. You can detach an overlay unit and force your opponent to attack this card instead of some of the other cards, so you do have that protection. Alright, and speaking of protection, if we're doing rank 8s, you gotta include Dingirsu. Just an amazing card. Detach a material, and if your cards will be destroyed by battle or card effect, they're not. So it offers that level of protection, and when it's Ixie summon, you can target one monster on your opponent's field and send it to the graveyard. Alright, for the links, we have Link Karibo, and I can tell you right now, Link Karibo is just an amazing card. Get this card on the field by using a level 1 monster. We have plenty of those in the deck. To bring it out, it can tribute itself to bottom out one of your opponent's monster's attack to 0, which is just huge. Alright, and there, since we do have a lot of level 1s in this deck, you can always tribute off those level 1s to bring this card back to use the effect again and again. So it's definitely an awesome card to have. Alright, I am running Hippo in this deck. Has two awesome effects. The first is to power up to all light attribute monsters by 500 attack points, which is just huge. You can power down dark attribute monsters alongside it by the same amount, which does help out. And if ever this card is popped by battle or card effect, you're getting another light attribute monster back from your graveyard, so you can reuse a lot of different cards with this card, and it's just such an amazing card to have in this deck. And the last Link monster I'm running is going to be a copy of Dragoon Knight Romulus. Romulus primarily is in this deck to help you get to your Dragon Ravine. So technically it's like a 5th Dragon Ravine in your deck, except this one is going to be coming out of your extra deck. From there you can just turn around and load your grave up, combo off, and be able to rebuild the board. So awesome. Alright guys, that is it for my Blue Eyes White Dragon deck for February 2020, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this on the Team FTK channel, make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so you don't miss a single upload, guys. Check out the description box below. Find the links to me and as well as the other team members of Team FTK's YouTube channels. Use those links, go to our channels, subscribe. The support will definitely help us out in the long runs. Alright? As always, guys, Until next time, peace.